I'm Mark Halley and Mr. Saltwater Tank, and this is Mr. Saltwater Tank TV. Coming to you today with a quick update on my 235-gallon tank. As you can see, I broke it down. Why did I break it down? I'll show you. It's right over here. That's why. That's my new 375-gallon tank. Dimensions, 96 inches or 8 feet across the front, 30 inches front to back, and 30 inches tall. Now you're probably asking yourself, Mark, why did you break down your 235-gallon tank? The tank was pretty much brand new. It was just getting started. Well, here's why. We moved. I had room for a bigger tank, and I decided, why not upgrade? I'm a reef junkie. That's what reef junkies do. First thing you do, and you look at a new house and you go, okay, how big of a tank can I fit in this place? That's exactly what I did. I walked into this room, I said, well, this is where I'm going to put my office. And I've got a nice big, it's probably 11, maybe 12-foot wall behind me. Perfect room for a big 8-foot tank. I've always wanted an 8-foot tank. I said, let's give it a shot. Now, we are renting this house, so some people are going to think I'm totally crazy for putting this big 375-gallon tank in a rental house. Why would I want to do that? Well, here's why. We are renting this house, which means at some point we will move out. And my wife and I are thinking that when we do move out, the house that we buy is going to be our, per se, forever house. We're going to raise a family there. We're going to be there for 15 to 20 years. So with that in mind, I said, I want to try a really big tank because I have a couple friends who have big tanks and they're split about 50-50. Some of them say, the big tank, it's annoying. It's a lot to work on. I don't like it. I like to have a smaller tank. Some people say, you know what? I love the big tank. Wouldn't want to go back to a smaller tank. And I said, well, I got to try this thing out for myself and see what I think. So I'm going to try out a big boy tank and see what I think. If it's a big pain in the butt for keeping it up, servicing it, then when we go to buy a house, I might be thinking about going down to a smaller tank. In which case I'm going to look at a house and say, well, I don't need to worry about an 8-foot tank because maybe I want to go back to a 4-foot tank. Maybe I love the big tank and I want to go to a 10-foot tank. I don't know, but the point is, I want to try this tank out for a year or so, see what I think, and then make a decision when we go to buy a house, what kind of tank am I going to be thinking about putting in the house? Because again, I'm a reef junkie, tank first, and then the house. Now, if you don't know what a reef junkie is, just follow the link at the bottom of the screen. You can download my tank personality report and find out all about it. So a couple of quick things about the tank. I'm going to do a full tank build and full tank profile show for you in the future. For now, let's take a quick look over the tank. A couple things to note. Reusing the radions off my old tank. So 4, count them 4, not 8, 4 Radion Pros on this tank. Plenty of light for what I need to do. Now you see they are suspended. I got this ugly egg crate over the top of the tank. That's going to go away. I am going to have a canopy built for this tank, but for now they're just temporarily hanging off the hanging kits. Other things to know about the tank is I reused a lot of the elements from my 235-gallon tank. So I reused the sump, I reused the skimmer, all that stuff is beneath the tank. And I reused a lot of the real reef rock as well. Now you notice there's not 100% real reef rock in this tank. Why did I do that? Well, first, keep this in mind. There's nothing wrong with the real reef rock that I used. It worked fantastic. It looks great. So I highly recommend it. So don't think that there's something wrong with it. That's why I didn't use it. One of the things I wanted to do with this tank was make it my, per se, challenge tank. I want to challenge some of the notions that I have and other people have about keeping saltwater tanks. And one of them is that using dry rock just causes phosphate problems and therefore causes hair algae problems. I said, well, I know that's not true, but let's go put the rubber to the road and do it myself. So there is some real reef rock in here that I reused because I love the shape, I love the color. It looks purple straight from the get-go, and I wanted to mix in some dry rock as well so that I could, prove those people wrong. Also, I did a couple other things different in this tank. It is a Eurobrace tank, but you might not be able to see this. I put in 2 cross braces on this tank. Why would I do that? As you all have read my guides, you know I'm not a big fan of cross bracing. Well, here's why. This is a rental house. I had to sign off that any water damage that I might cause, I have to pay for. Therefore, the last thing I want to think about is this tank letting go for some reason, causing a lot of water damage. Now, I don't think that would happen. Taught the manufacturer, they said, well, if we double Euro brace it, we won't need to do any cross bracing. I said, I'm going to play it safe on this one. Let's just put in a single Euro brace and put in some cross bracing. That way, I can be sure that this thing isn't going to let go. Again, they said double Euro bracing wouldn't need to worry about any cross bracing. They're confident that the tank would hold, but I'm taking it up a notch, giving myself some protection. So I'm going to challenge the notion a little bit that I have. Cross bracing is bad, that it makes it hard to light around, that you get dark spots. Now, keep in mind, you probably see some dark spots in the tank right now. That's because the lighting is just there temporarily. When I get the canopy on, I'm going to fine tune everything. The dark spots, I am completely confident will go away. So for now, there's a quick peek at my new 375-gallon tank. Again, I'm going to be doing a full tank profile show for you in the near future. But for now, when you see the quick tips, it's going to be done in front of this tank, not in front of my old 235-gallon tank. There you have it. I'm Mark Callie and Mr. Saltwater Tank. This is Mr. Saltwater Tank TV. Until next time, have a good one, enjoy your tanks, and know your tank personality.